Good afternoon. My name is Dave Georgeson. I'm the Director of Development for the EverQuest franchise, and some of you know me as SmokeJumper on the forums. I'm here with Holly Longdale, who's also known as Windstalker. She's the producer for EverQuest 2, and Akil Hooper, also known as Lyndro, who is the lead designer for EverQuest 2. And we're here to talk about GU63, the Skyshrine update, which is coming out next week on Tuesday.
Yes.
So we're right around the corner from this big debut of content. Like I'm sure a lot of you have seen the previews that we've been doing in other webcasts, as well as the facts that we've been posting on the websites. But of course, a lot more information is coming, and that's what we're going to be talking about right now. So since you've heard some of it before, we'll dive right in and start answering some of the questions that you've asked, as well as tell you some of the things that you may not have heard about the update. So diving right in.
Yes.
You've told them a little bit about the story and the lore that's going on, but just in case people haven't been on the webcast, haven't been following the webcast, can you just really quickly recap what's going on in the GU as far as story?
Dragons and more dragons.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I'll just lead off. It's the second half of Velius. So Velius came out last year, obviously, and it led up to ultimately the death of a god. I'll let Akil go into detail. But we're now led into Skyshrine by the former leader of Skyshrine, Jelinek, who's called the armies of Noreth together to go to Skyshrine to battle the invading forces that you'll find there. To get into more detail, I'll hand it off to Akil.
I don't think we need much more detail than that.
There's lots of dragons.
Yeah, dragons.
And then more dragons.
Flying and roaring and fire. And, aside from Skyshrine, there's Withered Lands, which was Awakening Lands in EverQuest 1. And we're telling a story there about the corruption that's taken place over the years. And you'll, as you play through there, you'll be able to discover what's going on and why, and help the armies get through, ultimately, to reach Skyshrine. And I don't want to ruin too much about what's going on in Skyshrine, but it's a really neat story. The city's fallen, and you'll find out why and how, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Lots of dragons.
And there's a few more teasers coming on the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a video coming, and there's some more literature that'll be posted soon.
Yeah.
So there's little bits coming here and there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that puts it in context, but there's a lot of things that we're doing on a feature basis with the GU that will significantly change the game and the way that we play it. Obviously, the most obvious of those is the level increase and the prestige points. So there's been a lot of talk on the forums about level 92 and what that does to the game and what it doesn't do for it, and I just wanted you to have a chance to point out some of the things that it might do really great for the game.
The biggest thing for us for level 92 is it lets us know what characters look like at level 92. So essentially, once you hit level 90 and gain 280 AAs, you'll be able to start earning experience towards 92. That means for us, when we make a solo quest, there are actually a couple solo dungeons in Skyshrine, and in the future when we do solo dungeons, instead of having to make a dungeon that is playable at 75 AAs and 190 AAs, we know, the level 92 player is going to have 10 prestige points and 280 to 320 AAs. And it gives us a much tighter target to hit when we're making content to make sure it's fun and fairly well balanced, or as balanced as can be. So it does lots of great things for balance and being able to make content.
Isn't it true that that's one of the things that people were finding as a flaw in Dungeon Finder, was the fact that the AAs were so separate from each other that it was hard to find a good group together?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So this should actually help us to be able to do pickup groups in the new content.
Yep. Yeah. If you join a pickup group, you'll know at level 92, you know that person in your group again meets that minimum bar, and you don't have to worry about them not having some essential Shower Knight ability or. Yeah.
So as a side effect, this might actually affect Dungeon Finder's effectiveness at 92.
That is true.
Post 90.
Yes. Yeah.
Post 90.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was cool, because that's one of the complaints about that feature is that the end gamers weren't finding it useful because of the disparity in AA.
Yeah. We're actually not adding Skyshrine right away into Dungeon Finder because it lets you bypass the requirements. So we want to make sure that people do the quest. But with the Skyshrine dungeons, if you have one person who does the quest, they can get your entire group in. So you're not going to have to all key to get in. But we just wanted people for a couple weeks to play through there and get the feel for it. But it'll come to Dungeon Finder well before the next game update.
We do that a lot on several things. We spoke earlier when we were getting ready for the show about the travel bells or the globes and stuff like that. We do similar things with globes, with travel globes, right?
We do. We have in the past, yes.
Are we doing that this time around?
Probably,
Probably
yeah.
something along those
Yeah.
lines? Okay, so people can look for that.
Yeah. Did you mention the prestige?
No, actually, we didn't talk about the prestige system. Go ahead.
That's another exciting thing. While 92, not that there's been a lot of criticism, it's exciting to get a level increase, but going up to level 92 also affords the design team the opportunity to build in prestige points. And the prestige points give you growth in your abilities. It's also the foundation for where we're going to go in the future with prestige classes. So it's exciting that over 91 and 92, you'll earn 10 prestige points that you can allocate into 5 rows of prestige talents. And some of those are not just light adjustments to existing abilities, but some of them are going to be in game changers in some ways. So the ability to reuse some of your abilities faster is going to change the way you play in some instances. So it's very exciting as a foundation for our future.
Plus, it kind of gives you new things to chase, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So how often do you get prestige points?
You get them 5 times every level, so every other mini-ding, every 20%.
Every other mini-ding. I like
Every
that.
other mini-ding.
Well, that's great. So that covers a lot. So there's a ton of new content. There's it's something like over 100 quests. Is that correct?
There's over
Withered
100
Lands
just
alone.
in Withered Lands, and then there are more on top of that in Skyshrine, and that's not counting the trade skill quest lines as we have in Withered Lands as well. So yeah, a ton of content. I'm pretty sure this is the most content we've ever put out in a game update.
We keep saying that.
And
whether
I got to
that's
say
true.
that once you, I like all the content, but that Skyshrine stuff is, I'm a sucker for that kind of storyline, and
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fantastic. I think
And
they're really going to like it.
Yeah, that it's accessible to everyone is exciting. Everyone's going to have a chance to see it and play in the storyline.
Talk about that. Talk about the opening up of all the visible content.
So a couple things. One of the things we're doing in Withered Lands is as you play through the adventure, naturally you'll get a story, and the story of the zone will come out as you play through as an adventure. But with the trade skill quest, there's also going to be aspects of the story that you pick up when you play through a trade skiller. So the entire zone as a whole is going to be told through both quest lines. They're both complete stories, but you'll get different pieces of it depending on which storyline you play, and you'll get more of it if you play through both of them.
So trade skillers and adventurers can compare notes and get
Yeah.
a bigger story.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And in Skyshrine, we actually added some once daily solo quest dungeons that you can play through. So you'll be able to go through some of the Skyshrine instances and do quests by yourself. You can actually bring in a mercenary or a friend if you want to. So we call them solo internally, but they're really duo. And also for the first time, we took all of the awesome scripting and custom animations in VO that we usually do for our raids, and we put that into our group content. Mm-hmm. So whether you're a group player, a hardcore raider, or you just like to raid with your friends, you'll get the entire storyline for Skyshrine. You'll get to see all the neat cinematics and intros.
It's not just neat. It's amazing.
It is pretty
Some of the stuff
awesome,
that
yeah.
the team's done is pretty incredible.
Yeah,
A lot of time invested.
I've seen a lot of it, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
It's well worth going through all the content to play through it. And there's a lot leading up to the end game of Skyshrine, but getting all the way to the end is just as much fun. There's plenty in there. Lots of new models, new dragons, new NPCs throughout Skyshrine and Withered Lands. There's a lot of really cool stuff.
Mm.
So you have this arc that goes through the trade skills that has different lore and stuff to it. So clearly you're adding a lot of stuff for the trade skillers also.
Yeah.
What kinds of things are you adding?
Trade skillers also go up to 92. As they go through the solo quest line, they'll be able to get a few new recipe books. They'll all be attainable at 90 since you can do the quests at 90. We didn't want to require you to get you get a recipe book that requires 91 and you're level 90. We didn't want you to have to wait to scribe it. So you can use all your recipes as soon as you get them.
Cool.
There are also a couple new trade skill apprentices. Those are attainable through doing the content in Skyshrine, but the trade skill apprentices themselves are tradable. So you can put them up on the broker or give them to a friend, or
Start your own slave trade?
Yeah.
that's
Or
nice.
if you're running through the solo instance, you can actually take a trade skill
How
buddy
funny it's
through with
featured.
you and no problem. You go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Sorry.
No problem.
So you can sell the apprentices and stuff on the broker.
Or you can buy
so
them
that,
if you're a trade skiller. And
right. And you mentioned something earlier about the new recipes requiring certain components.
The trade skill apprentice recipes?
Yeah.
Yes, the trade skill apprentice recipes require new components, and these are only dropped. So you'll have to get them or buy them from someone who has done some of the group content. But you'll be able to make them for people once you have them. So
I see.
Yeah.
And then non-adventuring trade skillers can...
They'll need to acquire them from
Right.
adventurers.
Okay, cool. And then we're kind of done with an overview of is there anything else you wanted to speak about with the GU63 specifically before we hit like player questions?
Can we talk about the shield?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have this new kind of shield that you're creating and adding into the game as well as putting on the marketplace. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the art team, being as ambitious as they are, they've figured out how to make shields animate while being used in attack. So there is a shield in Skyshrine that's dragon themed. It will have a unique animation while you attack. It's appearance, so you don't need to necessarily be
so
a
it
shield
attacks while you
wielding
attack?
class.
And it has animations
Yes,
that play with your
it
attack.
will roar, and yes, it does lots of interesting things. And then we have another completely unique one as well that we will put on the marketplace, and that's pretty darn cool also.
And we're not going to put that out for a while, so we'll have that. Anyway,
Won't be too long.
timing is timing.
It's pretty exciting.
And then we also have the new mount too.
Yes, yeah, there's a new Drake mount in this GU, and I think there's at least 5 versions you can acquire through different quests throughout Withered Lands and Skyshrine.
So those are not SC items.
No, they are in-game.
See, we don't always do that. Okay, so that's really cool. Is there anything else?
We were talking about something, can't remember what it was that we wanted to talk about. That was one thing.
New rare
the map.
mercenary. There's a new rare
Yes. Oh, yeah.
mercenary in Withered Lands.
And
Also,
Skyshrine.
for the first time, we've got mercenaries tied to a specific zone. So there's some unique mercenaries that you'll be able to get to help you play through Skyshrine.
Right.
They get a nice buff in
yeah.
Skyshrine.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
while you're in Skyshrine, the mercenaries are actually tougher.
Yeah.
And they're amazing.
Awesome.
They're dragon golems, amazing looking, brand new NPC models.
And there's no new appearances for the warders to tame? I mean, for the Beastlords to tame for
Yeah,
the warders?
Beastlords. Beastlords will have a few new appearances for some of their existing creatures. So there's a new raptor that actually you have to quest to get, and a new raptor appearance that you'll be able to get through quests, and then a corrupted wolf model and a mist panther, and
There's a mini Easter egg hint we can give.
A what?
A little Easter egg hint. Seeing as how it's just after Easter.
What do you mean?
If Beastlords pay attention in one of the quests into the results of the quest and really do pay attention, they'll get some additional appearances.
Okay, that's cool and intriguing.
Yeah. The quest will tip it off. I think there's a couple of quests, aren't there, I think?
Let's go. We have a few minutes left. Why don't we go through some of the player questions that have been submitted? One of the first questions was how veteran bonuses will work now that the level cap is being increased.
for now we are leaving the veteran bonus at level 90. I won't guarantee we'll stay level 90 forever, but it'll be level 90 for the next little bit here. So, so you'll continue to get your veteran bonus for your level 90 characters.
Okay, that's friendly. Are you planning to revamp any old zones in the near future?
Well, we've got Kinos coming this summer, and that's a Freeport style revamp. We're gonna tell new stories and new quests, and Kinos is going to be turned into 2 zones. Freeport we're able to get into 1, but Kinos is going to have to be 2 zones.
It's just too big.
It is just too much stuff in it. But yeah, that's coming in the future. But generally for zone revamps, we don't like to rip out content and put in all new content.
Right.
For players who've been around for a while, you remember like the Runny Eye revamp or the stuff that we've done with Nectropos. It's really nice to go in and tell new stories for those places without having to tear out content that some mixed content. Some of it's good. Some of it
Sure.
could use an overhaul.
Sure.
But yeah.
I mean, there's
nostalgia.
certainly content in the game that we would like to replace.
Yes.
But content is content, and there's always new stuff, and we have to do a mix and match.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Is there anything planned for player versus player content in the near future?
It's definitely on our priority list. Something
Yes.
will happen. There'll be an announcement from probably from Akil, probably in the relatively near future as to what we'll be doing with PvP.
Yeah, I would very much like to get some PvP stuff out in the next game update if possible. I know it's been a long time since PvPers have seen some love, and it is absolutely a priority. You were not forgotten. We love you guys.
There's
Keep
guys on the
killing each
team
other.
that are 100% PvP committed.
Yes.
Is it fair to say that we are not ignoring it and we're not only just leaving it on a list, but we're actively working on something that could dramatically affect PvP?
Yes.
There's
Yes, it is fair to
documentation.
say.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's what they call a leading
leading
the
question.
witness question. But seriously, yeah, I mean, you guys have some good ideas.
Everyone's a Beastlord now.
Yeah.
How useful and relevant will Destiny of Elias Part 1 be after GU63 opens up Book 2 of Destiny of Elias?
So right now DOV is the end of the game. And so it won't be as relevant once it launches
Not
because
final end of the game. Just
no,
current
it's the
end of
current
game.
end of the game. It's the current top of the game. So it won't be as relevant because it's now content that you level through and not content that you stop and play at forever. It's our goal to still have some equipment that you get through old Velius content that you'll still want to use.
Sure.
But yeah, it's not going to be as relevant as it was before 63. It's hard to have new content come out and have it all kind of stay all at identical tier. But for people who do Plane of War, the Plane of War stuff will probably be the best that you'll see for quite some time.
Right. And even the stuff that you pick up during is still useful while you pick it
Right,
up.
yeah.
Right. So that's all good.
Yeah.
And we mentioned earlier about the level 91 and level 92 apprentices needing the Colossal. But is there anything else that might get leveled or out-leveled or something like that as we move to 92? Is there anything that would be of concern to the players that they should be worried about? Do they have to worry about reassigning their AAs, or is there anything strange that's going on because we're increasing?
Another leading question. Awesome.
Well, kind of it is.
So and Akil can, if he wants to give math detail, I don't know the math, but ultimately there is a 280 AA requirement to get from level 90 to at least level 91, and the team has looked at the experience curve to get all AAs, and they've shortened that significantly. Mm-hmm. So when you log in, and if you can access GU63, you will see anyone who logs in will probably see a bonus in their AA points appear as soon as they log in. Given that now the experience curve is shorter, they will now see additional points. So it might take some people who may be a little shy of 280 up to 280.
So in other words, you had earned this much, but with the new system, you would have, if you had been doing it from scratch, you would have earned this much. So we're giving you this difference.
Yes.
And this is actually new. In the past, when we've redone the AA curves, it's been it hasn't been retroactive. And so this is actually the first time we've done a retroactive AA change.
But that's cool, right?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
I definitely
Yeah.
want to spend them.
Yeah.
People who've had characters for a long time will see the biggest benefit.
Right, like if you have a bunch of AA, then you'll see more AA show up. If you only have 2, you're not going to get much.
And even older characters who on an older experience curve will probably see a greater benefit.
No.
Sorry. Just hoping for that. Yeah. But
Well,
anyway, you'll get extras anyway.
We're starting to run out of time here. Are there any parting comments you want to make about GU63 and what to look forward to? Something that you're very excited about in particular? Ozakar?
Yeah, there's a really nice. I'm obviously really proud and honored to be part of this team. It's like it's coming in, on a winning team. So it's been a joy for me to see what they're developing, and there's some really good intrigue and story and really immersive content in this update. And I've enjoyed so far playing through all of it. So, and I think we probably, as producers and lead designer, are probably the worst critics.
Sure.
So for us to be excited, and we really are excited and think this is worth definitely playing through. I think the team has done an amazing job, from the art all the way through design, and even some of the code improvements.
Cool.
So new pathing will be in this starting next Wednesday. I think we promised that in March, but it's coming with the update.
Awesome.
So there's going to be some wide improvements.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to getting a good night's
break.
sleep again. I'm tired.
Well, I do want to say that I have to say thank you to the community because the response this time around for GU63 has
Yes.
been
Absolutely.
fantastic
Thank
for
you.
testing. You guys have showed up on test. You've given us all kinds of feedback, and not just raids. Like we usually get some good feedback on raids, but we're getting great comments on overlands and quests and all kinds of different things. You guys have really stepped up, and it's just huge for us, and we can't say thank you enough.
Yeah, I think this has been one of the longest beta times we've had for a game update, and we've had a pretty consistent amount of people in there the whole time giving us great feedback, and it absolutely shows.
It's
Yeah.
night and day compared to previously, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's it for now. That wraps us up for now, but GU63 will be rolling out next Tuesday, and you'll be seeing more and more information about it in the coming days. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sony.